What's up, guys? We are back on Pokemon Showdown for another episode of Road to Top 10. Thank you everybody for the continuous support and likes on my last video, as well as the comments. Definitely appreciate it all. Today I'm using a team that was given to me by my boy Jamvad. It is his team, but I actually asked him to make it specifically for me for Road to Top 10 because he's a pretty good team builder. And yeah, so I wanted him to make this team. It's pretty cool. Let me just look for a battle now, and I'll pause until we find one. Alright, so we have found a battle. My opponent has a very strong team. Apparently they're retesting Salamence now. So Salamence is back in UU, which is cool. I actually want to build a team around it. I'll probably use it for next episode. I'm going to lead off with Rhyperior just in case he wants to lead off with Darmanitan, since it's a pretty good lead. And, you know, it has Scarf U-Turn, Scarf Flare, but stuff like that. So I'm thinking that Rhyperior is a pretty solid lead. If he leads off with, like, Empoleon, that'd be semi-bad for me. But he ends up leading off with his Darmanitan, so I can get up my rocks right now, as he's more than likely going to U-turn out into his Chestnut, which is a good play because Chestnut can come out in for free. But he ends up going out into his Empoleon, though. Not sure if I really agree with that, because I can just go for Earthquake right here, not really fearing the Scald because I can live it. Unfortunately, he doesn't get a burn on me, so that will definitely limit my Rhyperior's damage output. Actually, just going to continuously go for Stealth Rocks just in case he wants to defog away my my rocks. But he ends up going right for the Scald, which is fine by me because now I can go out into my Toxicroak, and I can definitely just knock him right out with a Drain Punch. He might also go out into his Nidoking. I don't really mind because if Nidoking takes damage at +2, I can knock it out with Sucker Punch. So late game, I will be able to knock it out. And to go out to Chestnut, though, the best thing Chestnut can do is actually just go for Leech Seed. I don't really want to mess around with Spiky Shield, though, so I'm just going to go right for Poison Jab just to get off as much damage as possible, as I do end up poisoning him, which is pretty nice as he's able to get off that Leech Seed. So I'm definitely going to switch out right here since he's more than likely just going to go for the Protect. So going to switch out, not Protect, but Spiky Shield, its version of Protect. So I'm going to switch out into my Shaman because I know I can basically come in for free, and I believe I can just go right for a Seed Flare, as that would have been able to knock him out. Unfortunately, I do miss, but I can't complain because I did get a poison damage on him earlier. But now I should be able to just go for it once again, as he ends up going for Spiky Shield just to get the make the poison rack up, which is you know, a fair play on his part. So Chestnut is going to go down this turn to the poison, as now he's going to bring out his Darmanitan. Definitely do not want to stay in, so I'm going to switch out into my Blastoise. If he goes for Flare Blitz, I should be able to take that. He does predict that, though, very nicely, and going for the U-turn into his Manectric. Now, Manectric can definitely Mega Evolve and go right for the Thunderbolt. I don't want to take that. I'm actually going to go out to my Jirachi as basically Death Fodder, since Jirachi isn't really going to be doing too much this battle. If he actually goes for you know, Thunderbolt and then follows it up with an Overheat, that means I can get in my Toxicroak from there, or even my Shaman, and just do some work from there. So gonna go right for the Calm Mind just in case he wants to Volt Switch out into his Empoleon, and I can put in some work with, you know, Grass Knot, do a decent amount, as he actually ends up Volt Switching out into his Salamence. Had I gone for Psychic, I would have been able to do a hell of a lot to this thing, but either way, I should be able to go out to my Crobat right here. I don't want him to go for the Earthquake and knock me out and get a Moxie boost, and Crobat is packing a Sky Plate, so it can actually OHKO everything, barring Empoleon. So I'm actually going to go right for the U-turn and predicting Empoleon to want to come in, and Empoleon does give me the free switch into my Toxicroak once again to just go right for the Drain Punch once again. If he doesn't have sacking Empoleon, that means I can just go right for the my Crobat's Brave Bird later on. And guys, forgive me if I do mess up or say something that I don't mean. It is 4 a.m., but I just felt like recording because I kept wanting to find a battle with this team. I really enjoy this team that Jamvad made. Guys, go check him out. Actually, I'm going to type his thing right here. cp/youtube.com/user/Mr. Jamvad. Very, very talented user. Great battler. Stuff like that. He's an awesome battler. So definitely go check him out. So Manectric is potentially a threat, but like I said, I do have Toxicroak Sucker Punch to be able to take it on. Darmanitan is also a threat, but I do have Sucker Punch. Salamence, same thing, Sucker Punch. Everything's handled by Sucker Punch. Manectric cannot OHKO Shaman unless it's packing Overheat. But yeah, guys, go check out Jamvad. I will be putting his link in the description. Like, you know, let's try and get him to a decent amount of, like, a sub. Bleh. What am I trying to say? I'm just gonna pause it until he makes a move because I keep talking wrong. Alright, so he ends up going on to his Nidoking. Definitely do not want to stay in with my Toxicroak since it is a win condition. So I'm just going to sack my Jirachi right here, as he's more than likely going to go right for the Earth Power, knock me out. Now, I'm actually going to do a calc really quickly just to see if Crobat can knock it out with the Sky Plate. Not that I'm doubting Crobat, but I'm unfamiliar with going for you know, Brave Bird versus that mon. So Nidoking, let's check that out. Brave Bird does not enough. So I have to go out into my Blastoise, and I don't believe I have to go for Hydro Pump. I'm going to go for Dark Pulse after Mega Evolving, because Dark Pulse will put him in a range where I can go for the Brave Bird. And if he happens to switch out into like Salamence to take like a water move, I can you know, knock it out from there. So let me just say yes. I'm just going to say yes. Guys, this is a registered nickname. If there's a person with Pokeaim, that's me. Okay? That's always going to be me. There's never anything different right there. So, gonna Mega Evolve and end up eating up this T-Bolt as I'm able to go right for the Dark Pulse. Definitely put him in range where I can knock him out with the Brave Bird from there. Unfortunately, though, I'm kind of threatened by his Manectric. I'm really threatened by his Manectric. Thanks for sharing that with me. I appreciate that. Either way, I am kind of threatened by his Manectric, but I'm still in a decent position. So I'm gonna go right for Brave Bird right here, as I'll be able to knock out his Nidoking. If he chooses to save it for whatever reason, I'll be able to knock it out with Sucker Punch regardless. So it'll knock him out, as now he's gonna go out to his Manectric, and I definitely do not want to take an electric type attack. Don't really have a choice though, so I'm gonna stay in and go for the Brave Bird because I can't risk switching out into my Shaman or anything like that. And what I can do right here is go for Leech Seed, as he ends up going right for the Overheat. That's fine by me because now I'll have the +1 Toxicroak to come in, and no, unfortunately he misses his Overheat, but I don't think it mattered at the end of the day because Overheat would not have been able to knock me out, and I was able to get up that SD right there. Yeah, Overheat doesn't do nearly enough. He doesn't even try and switch around, trying to play around with the Paralysis. He definitely should have done, not Paralysis, but Intimidate. He definitely should have done that right there. And, well, then again, his Salamence has Moxie, so I don't even know what I'm talking about. But he still should have tried to switch out into Darmanitan and then switch back into Manectric. But either way, I can go right for the Sucker Punch, knock out his Salamence, and Darmanitan will go down to the Sucker Punch at +2, definitely. So I think at the end he could have played that better. Maybe gotten me down low enough to where I couldn't knock out his Manectric with the Sucker Punch, but at the same time Stealth Rocks were up, limiting his switching, so I don't really know how that would have worked out for him. Don't really feel like calculating either, so I'm just going to look for another battle and going to pause it until I find one. The one is just trying out Salamence. I really have to make a team with it. Let me look at, I don't have the little announcement thing right there, but in any case, I should be able to lead off the Rhyperior. Even if his thing has Giga Drain, I can still knock it out after living that because of Solid Rock and my Spadeffi Vs. He's more likely going to lead off with this Galvantula and just try and get up his Sticky Web. So I'm going to go right for the Rock Blast. Like I said, I should be able to live a Giga Drain. Well, I will be able to live a Giga Drain. And if he chooses to actually get up his Sticky Web, which I think is a poor play, in all honesty, I would even just switch because I do have Rapid Spin on Blastoise, but I guess he doesn't know that. But he ends up going for Energy Ball, as I am able to eat that up and go right for the Rock Blast. Hopefully I get more than 2 hits. No, I do not, as that's unfortunate. Definitely just want to switch out to my Crobat. I'm not expecting him to want to Thunder right here, as he ends up going for a Sticky Web, which is fine by me because now I don't want to go for the U-turn. I want to go for Brave Bird because after he goes out into what is more than likely his Slowbro, I'll be able to Rapid Spin with my Blastoise. So he actually ends up going out to Mence. Not entirely sure why. Even if he's Scarf, I can do work. I can live his Outrage. So I'm just going to go for Brave Bird right here, as he ends up being a Dragon Dance variant. Either way, if he has well, I'm going to force him to go for the Outrage or something. So I'm going to switch out to my Jirachi right here, as I'm able to take this Dragon Claw. And it turns out he doesn't have Outrage. I actually can live a +1 Earthquake from Salamence because I am bold and I'm running a lot of HP. So he ends up switching out to his Houndoom though. Pretty good play on his part. Not gonna lie. Expecting me to be able to take that Earthquake. That was a good play. Yeah, that was a pretty good play. What don't I need in this battle? To be honest, Rachi, it can knock out Nidoking on a switch-in though. I'm just gonna go for Flash Cannon right here, just in case he tries to like substitute up. I think it will break the sub. Don't quote me on that though. Okay, so it doesn't end up breaking the sub. That's a bit unfortunate. As actually it doesn't matter because I have Infiltrator on Crobat. So if he goes for like Nasty Plot right here and tries to sub up again, I do have Infiltrator on Crobat, so I'll be able to knock him out regardless of being behind a sub. So I'm kind of hoping he goes for Nasty Plot. That way he goes for sub again and takes any unnecessary damage from, you know, the 25% from subs. So he doesn't go in for Nasty Plot. That's cool because I'm able to break his sub, and what I can do is just go for the Flash Cannon once again. I'm really not worried. I do have Infiltrator on Crobat to be able to take him down. I'm literally watching your video. That's cool. That's pretty cool. As we are playing, go ahead and leave a like, friend. Gotta let them know. Gotta let them know. Either way, he will be able to knock me out with the Dark Pulse, but now I do have Crobat. Like I said, Crobat does have Infiltrator, and I'll be able to go through a substitute, knock him out. I am max attack. I do have a Sky Plate, so Brave Bird is buffed, and I'll easily be able to knock him out. So he's watching OU. I'm doing UU now too. But yeah, I'm able to knock out his Crobat. Or no, Houndoom. Like I said, guys, 4 AM. Sorry about the mistakes. I really do apologize because I am slow. But he ends up going out to his Slowbro. Speaking of slow, I'm gonna be able to U-turn out into my Blastoise, and I actually don't really have to go for the what's it called, the Rapid Spin, because me being slower doesn't really bother me. So I'm gonna go right for Dark Pulse right here. I'm going to go right for Dark Pulse because even though he did get that boost, I should be able to 2-hit KO him, as I do 60%. Wow, that's crazy. And in all honesty, I might just go for the Rapid Spin right here just to get it off. He might just switch out his Slowbro to get off the Regenerator, and I think Rapid Spin will just get rid of his you know, hazard right there. But in any case, the reason I double thought that was because Shaman could potentially outspeed Nidoking if he's running, you know, Modest. So now I can go right for the Dark Pulse and knock him out, as he ends up going out to his Entei. Fine by me, as he takes that damage, unnecessary damage. And I don't really need Blastoise because I do have Shaman, so I'm going to stack it right here to more than likely an Extreme Speed or a Sacred Fire. He ends up going right for the Sacred Fire though. I know that that Crobat can outspeed him and then go for the Brave Bird from here. I actually don't think it will knock him out, so what I'm actually going to do is go right for the U-turn and go out into my my Rhyperior, as he ends up revealing that he is an E-Belt set. So I'm going to go out into my Rhyperior, and I'm actually going to go Protect just in case he has HP Grass. I don't want to get HP Grassed right here. And even if he does end up going out to his Slowbro, I'll be able to get that extra leftovers recovery. So he ends up having the Sacred Fire, or going for Sacred Fire rather. I know that I can take it, and even if he gets a burn, I will be able to knock him out with the Earthquake. So I'm going to go right for that Earthquake, as Entei is a pretty big threat to my team. And I want to be able to knock that out. I do have Stealth Rocks up, which can get rid of the... I don't have Stealth Rocks up, okay. That's something I need to get up right now. So I'm going to get up my Stealth Rocks right here, as he ends up going right for the Draco. Because I am Spadef, I will be able to take that. And I'm actually going to switch out into my Crobat, just to, does that make sense? Yeah, I'm gonna go out to my Crobat just to take an Earthquake or something. He ends up going for Iron Tail though, as he ends up getting that Moxie boost. Definitely wasn't expecting Iron Tail, but I guess it makes sense because of the Fairy types. So I'm gonna go right for Sucker Punch, as he ends up Dragon Dancing up. That's fine by me. I'm just gonna continuously click Sucker Punch. I'm not losing anything by doing so. And yeah, I'm able to knock out his Salamence. So now he can go out into his Entei and potentially go for Extreme Speed. He can also go out into his Nidoking. Unfortunately, Nidoking being the threat that it is, I'm going to have to go for the Sucker Punch right here just to get off as much damage as possible, as I'm able to get off a clean amount of damage, as Earth Power is going to be able to knock me out. But now I can go out into my Shaman, and because I did get up those rocks, I'll be able to basically, I think I'll be able to win right here. So hopefully, well, I'll be able to outspeed him even if he is timid, just because I hit 296 speed. So hopefully I hit, as I'm able to knock him out. And all he has left is his Entei. And I'm going to try and just stall him out of Sacred Fires really quickly before actually switching out into my Rhyperior right here. Because I don't actually know if I'll be able to knock him out with the Seed Flare. I don't believe I will. So, unfortunately, he gets the burn. I actually predicted that, which is why I said it before he got it. And I'm just going to go right for Earthquake right here. As he ends up misplaying, going for Extreme Speed. Definitely should have went for the Sacred Fire. But if Sacred Fire would have missed, I guess it would have played out right there. And, yeah, so got a bit lucky right there. Though Air Slash might have been able to knock him out. Then again, it is an Entei, so I don't really know. If he didn't get the burn, though, I wouldn't have been in that position. But regardless, I will be able to go for Seed Flare, knock him out. And that will be a good game. And I actually want to calc Seed Flare on Entei. Shaman, Modest, Entei. How much does Seed Flare do? Yeah, Seed Flare easily would have knocked him out. So I just had to hope that I missed. Thanks, man. I just had to hope that I hit, that I didn't miss the Seed Flare. So gonna pause until I find another battle, and I'll be right back. All right, so I got another battle. This time is versus Potato Fairy. I'm gonna lead off with my Rhyperior because it is the universal lead, and I can get up Stealth Rocks versus 1, 2, 3 Pokemon. I'm thinking he's gonna want to lead off with Azelf. I believe I faced this guy before when I was testing, and he had a Scarf Azelf, so that's gonna give me a bit of trouble. Toxico though puts a lot of work versus his team, so he doesn't end up leading off with the Azelf. I'm just gonna protect just in case he has Grass Knot right here, or even if he wants to trick me or something like that. Don't want to take any of those, so I'm going to go right for Stealth Rocks though. Gonna go for my Stealth Rocks then, because I don't think he can stop me from getting them up. I'm not sure if he runs Taunt, and even if he does, it's fine because I do have Blastoise to come in afterwards and just Rapid Spin away. So he doesn't go in for the Taunt right there, and what I can do though is just go right for the why did he go for Stealth Rocks again? Hello? You okay, bro? Either way, I can go right for Rock Blast and put in a lot of work. I don't know why he went for double Stealth Rocks. Was it a misclick, or did he just want to show that he got them up? Did he want to make it clear that he got them up? I'm not sure. But either way, I should be able to take any hit from this thing, even if it does have Grass Knot. I can eat that up. Unfortunately, though, I might not have been able to get up my rocks, and I do miss my Rock Blast. Look at me just predicting these misses and saying, unfortunately, though. Either way, Rock Blast thankfully does hit. Hopefully, I get 3 hits right now, and I am able to knock out the Azelf at the cost of my leftovers. So, not too big of a problem, because I could still be able to take any hit from any one of his mons. Even Nidoking I can take an Earthquake from, or Earth Power rather, from, because I am specially defensive and I do have solid rock. So just going to pause until he decides to make a move. So he ended up going out to his Nidoking. I know that I can take the Earthquake from here, or Earth Power from here, so I'm just going to go right for the Earthquake, as I do end up living. I actually did a calc because I knew that I could take it because I've lived it, and I also think I lived it previously, but it was just to make sure, in all honesty. So now he does have a chance to go out into his Honchkrow, or even Empoleon / Darmanitan. He ends up going out to Darmanitan though. Darmanitan I'm not really too worried about. I will be able to get off a spin versus everything, so just going to stay in and go for the Earthquake once again, as he's able to knock me out with the U-turn. He basically just sacked 2 Pokemon though to this Rhyperior. Though I did sack a Darmanitan switch in as well as a Honchkrow switch in, so I got to play careful around those two. I do have Blastoise though, just to threaten Empoleon and also weaken the Honchkrow. Well, weaken the Empoleon and knock out the Honchkrow rather. So gonna Mega Evolve right here and go right for the Rapid Spin. I'm thinking that he might actually be an offensive Empoleon because he had Stealth Rocks on his other Mon, but I'm not entirely sure. And unfortunately, I won't be able to get up rocks this game. So I'm gonna switch out into my Jirachi, as he's able to go right for the Moonblast. And what I can do right here is go right for the Psychic, just to do some damage. He also might go out into his Darmanitan. He might also go out into his Empoleon, so I'm gonna go for Calm Mind, as he actually ends up going for the Protect. I think that was a misplay on his part, because now I can go right for the Flash Cannon and do damage to either him or any Pokemon that he wants to switch into right here. I don't really agree with him going for Protect versus Jirachi. I guess though he wanted to scout just in case I went for the like Iron Head or Thunder Wave, but either way, doesn't go out to Darmanitan. I do get a crit. Bit unfortunate. That means that if I don't get up an SD, I can still knock him out with Sucker Punch. So you know, damage is damage. So that really is unfortunate right there. But I'm still in a great position. for me, so I apologize about that. But ends up predicting my switch out into Blastoise and goes right for the U-turn, as he's able to U-turn out to his Florius. I am expecting a Wish right here, so I'm going to go out into my Jirachi, as he ends up going for the Moonblast once again. And now what I can do is actually go for the Psychic. I could go for Calm Mind again, to be honest, expecting a Wish, and then I can go for Psychic from there. As he ends up going for that Wish, I'm actually going to go for the Psychic, predicting him to want to go out to Darmanitan or even Empoleon. He doesn't trying to go out to Darmanitan. I'm able to knock that out. Now, he has a few plays he can do. I'm thinking more than likely Honchko's coming out. I am bold, though, running a lot of defense and running a lot of HP, so I can take the Sucker Punch and do a lot with Flash Cannon, as he ends up actually going for Brave Bird, predicting my switch. And he gets a crit, so I'm not really too worried about that. I'm actually okay with that. And what I can do right now is go for Calm Mind, expecting him to Sucker Punch up. And I'm not really losing anything now. I'm just gaining leftovers to the point where I can knock him out. He actually ends up going for the Roost right here, which is more likely, yeah, the Roost. And now what I can do is just go right for Calm Mind one more time, to the point where I can actually live his Sucker Punch, as he does end up going for it once again. So this thing can potentially just sweep his team if he isn't able to get off the Sucker Punch damage anytime soon. So now he's going to end up going for the Brave Bird, which is fair, or even the Pursuit. That's that's actually bad. I probably misplayed this Jirachi, but I'm gonna go for the the Flash Cannon right there. He's able to knock me out with the Sucker Punch. Bit unfortunate, but I can't do anything about that. I'm pretty sure Crobat can live it, but Toxicroak is definitely the safer play, as I will be able to outspeed him and go right for the Drain Punch after taking his Sucker Punch. So I probably could have went for Flash Cannon anytime earlier because of my Jirachi spread. I would have been able to live his Sucker Punch, but I was getting greedy and wanted to get back up to like full HP. So very poorly played on my part right there, as he ends up making a poor play and going out to his Florius. I can knock that out with the Poison Jab, following up with a Drain Punch. So he honestly had no play though right now, and I think his only way of winning is if his Empoleon has like Drill Peck or something like that. So just gonna go right for the Drain Punch, as I'm able to do a hell of a lot to him, as he ends up going for Scald. So I think that's his way of conceding defeat, because I do have dry skin and, you know, I'm ashy, so that water is definitely good for me. So able to knock him out, and his last is his Honchkrow, which would go down to Drain Punch and not be able to knock me out with the Sucker Punch. So yeah, good game, dude, and I believe I will find one more until and then I'll end it from there, because it's been about 20 minutes-ish. What has it been, like 23 minutes? I don't know, but let me just pause until I find one and we'll be right back. Right, so I found a battle versus a pretty cool team. Mega Blastoise puts in a lot of work versus 5 out of 6 of his guys, so I might actually just lead off with that. But he does have Rose Raid though, so I'm going to lead off with my Rhyperior, because if he does choose to lead off with Darmanitan, you know, I can get up my rocks for free. He does not have a Spinner or a Defog user. I don't believe Aerodactyl gets Defog. Does Aerodactyl get Defog? I don't know. I don't think. That'd be a waste of a move, Game Freak, if it does get Defog. I really don't think it does, though. Let me just put on the timer, because that Darmanitan just went for U-turn, and it's still here. It's still here, so definitely want to get that out of here. I'm expecting Rose Raid or Hippowdon to come in. Both would be fair plays, as he ends up going out to his Hippowdon, which gives me a free switch into my Blastoise, and I could potentially just, you know, bluff the Rapid Spin and end up going for the you know, the Dark Pulse. So I am going to go right for Dark Pulse right here. I feel like I have no reason not to, as he does try and block a Rapid Spin and go out to Jellicent. Kind of, you know, I guess he had no other play to make right there, but I don't agree with it anyway. I also don't agree with going for Stealth Rocks right away, because it forced me to go for Dark Pulse. I would have actually went for Earthquake, trying to get off damage on Blastoise. But either way, I can go right for the Dark Pulse once again, as he lets his Jellicent go down, which means I am free to Rapid Spin later on in the game, as now he ends up going out to his Rose Raid. So I don't really want Crobat going to sleep after I bring it in. Rhyperior honestly did its job. All it has to do now is just sit in on Aerodactyl. Looking like, well, I guess Shaman is a fairly safe switch in, just in case he decides to go for Sleep Powder. Then I can double into Crobat, as he ends up going for the Sludge Bomb, predicting that. Well played on his part. But now what I can do is just go right for an Air Slash, safe Air Slash, get off damage. I could also save this thing, switch out into my Crobat. Yeah, I'm going to do that, because I can Rapid Spin later and get on, I can basically just get off these spikes. So I'm going to go right for the U-turn right here, as I'll force him out into his is a Powder, I thought, but he ends up predicting that U-turn very nicely and staying in with his Rose Raid. Good play on his part, or I think he predicted that. I'm not sure. Either way, I should be able to go right back out into Crobat right now, and I am going to go for Brave Bird this time. If he stays in again, I'm not going to say that he predicted me last time, but he ends up switching out, which is the correct play. And what I can do now is definitely just U-turn out into my Blastoise. I don't want to go for the Roost and have him Earthquake me. Actually, I don't mind if he Earthquakes me. I'm just going to go for Roost, as he ends up forcing me out into my Jirachi. I could probably catch him off guard right now with the Grass Knot. I don't know if it'll knock him out, though, so I'm actually just going to go for it. As it isn't able to knock him out, but I do have, you know, a lot of defensive E's, like I said before, so I'm just going to follow it up with a Psychic just in case he wants to switch out into something that can take the Grass Knot like Rose Raid. Don't really agree with that because, I don't know, I don't agree with these plays because, you know, it's kind of obvious some of my movesets, but either way, I'm going to be able to follow it up with a Flash Cannon just in case he wants to go out into like a Scrafty or something right there. Scrafty looking like the only threat if he does have like Zen Headbutt or something like that, so. But Blastoise should be able to take a potential hit. He doesn't go out to Scrafty though. I don't want him to get too many DDs, so I'm going to switch out into my Toxicroak. If he does have Zen Headbutt though, it could be GG. It could be potentially GG, as he ends up bulking up though. So that's better for me because what I can do is just go right for the Swords Dance and get enough recovery to the point where I'll be able to knock him out. I don't want to go for +4 and be greedy and have him crit me, so I'm just going to go right for the Drain Punch right here, as I'm able to do a hell of a lot as he goes for the knockoff. Doesn't do too much to me, and what I can do is go right for the Drain Punch once again to be able to knock him out. He doesn't really have a switch in at all. He could sack a Powdon if he wants to. I'm just going to calc +2 Sucker Punch versus Mega Aerodactyl. It might look like a stupid thing, but you know, I want to be safe. I'm tired. I don't feel like I'm pretty sure I'll knock him out, but I'm just tired, so I don't feel like thinking. It actually doesn't knock it out, so it's a good thing that I didn't. It said it's a good thing that I didn't go for it, but I didn't go for it yet. So I'm gonna switch out to my Crobat as Pseudo Fodder, as he is gonna Mega Evolve into his Mega Aerodactyl and go right for the Aerial Ace. Fine by me because basically once I force him out with my Rhyperior, or he basically has to sack this thing because he has nothing for Rhyperior right now. Yeah, I can go right for Rock Blast and knock him out. The best thing he can do is Ice Fang me or Earthquake. Won't be able to knock me out, and he has to hope that I miss like twice. So I'm gonna go right for Rock Blast. I'm pretty sure Rhyperior does clean up the game though, but I'm not gonna be like cocky or anything just yet. He ends up going right for Stone Edge. I guess hoping for a crit, but did you not have any attack to hit me? Either way, I should be able to go for the Rock Blast once again. I don't know if he has Roost or not, but he ends up going for Stone Edge again, so I guess he doesn't have an attack to hit me. Anyway, the biggest threat to my team is now gone, as I can now just switch out my Rhyperior and go out to my Jirachi as Death Fodder, and that will give me the free switch into Blastoise where I can just go for the Rapid Spin right there. So if he doesn't choose to go out to his Darmanitan, that's fine because I'll be able to get off the Grass Knot damage on it, even though it'll be minimal. Any damage is nice, and if he goes out to Darmanitan, it means I get off a free Rapid Spin. And just getting off the Grass Knot on Hippo, he'll do a hell of a lot, and he'll be able to knock me out with the Earthquake. But now I can go out into my Blastoise, and honestly, I don't probably have to go for the Rapid Spin, but I don't want him having like Earthquake and sweeping me, so yeah, gonna go for the Rapid Spin just in case he does have Earthquake, as I'll be able to get rid of these spikes and hazards. He might just go for Stealth Rocks again, predicting that, but he doesn't, so that's fine by me because now I can go right for the Dark Pulse, and I will be able to knock him out, and that'll leave him with his last will be Darmanitan. If he actually has what the hell am I saying? If he actually has like Sewer Power and not like Earthquake, he won't be able to knock me out. So what I'm gonna do is go out to my Toxicroak and go right for the Sucker Punch, as that'll be able to do a lot to him. And right now I can just go out to my Rhyperior. I don't know if he's Choice Banded or not, and I really don't want to get a tie if like Choice Banded like a crit or something. I don't want it to be a tie because tie means I lose points. It might say, oh, we both won. No, we both lost if we tie right there. So I'm gonna go for Protect just in case he's like Choice Banded and gets a crit, as I called that crit, and I'm able to get the win. So yeah, good game, dude. I am now 1558, guys. Let's see where we are on the ladder. Let's see. I really love this team, Jamvad. So like I said, guys, go check them out. 1558. Number 92. So closing in on top 10. And guys, I hope you all enjoy. Like I said, go check out Jamvad. His link will be in the description. Please go check him out. Definitely worth your sub. Thank you all for the continuous likes and the continuous support. And until next time, guys, later.